I'm on my patio, just checking in with everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everything's going well for everyone. Just waiting a little bit to see if I can get some people to come on. It is almost 7. Live. Thank you for showing up. It's been really interesting, right? So, I have been doing a episode on TikTok about forgiveness and what does that mean? How does that play out in our world with all these changes that's going on? And like we know, we're at the end of a cycle, and I wanted everybody to just at this ending, do an evaluation on the landscape of your life. And I think we all are feeling some kind of way. I think we're letting go of relationships that are not serving us. We're trying to figure out if relationships are serving us. We're actually doing a lot of indoor house cleaning. And I'm not just meaning in the tangible house, I think in our spiritual house. I think we are all coming together as a collective, and we're really looking at where we see ourselves and how we see ourselves in the next uh, cycle that we're going into, because we haven't ever been in this cycle ever began before. This is something new. We're going in, like, our whole solar system is changing. And as you know, we have a little object that's coming our way that's actually supposed to be here in a couple of weeks. And what does that mean to us all? I don't know if you guys are feeling the disruption, the intrusion, the thing that is in the sky, because we are 75% water. And we feel everything. We do feel everything. And so there's so much going on, but I think in our day to day world, our relationships, our friendships, our work, and everything, it's like there are a lot of changes. And I think we are reinventing ourselves in so many ways. I think a lot of us are reinventing ourselves. I think a lot of us are at that crossroad, trying to figure out, like, which direction should I go. And I think we're feeling like a need to feel some growth in our lives. We're looking to have add value to our lives, like, not do the same thing that we've been doing for years. Like, we're feeling in our spirits that we need to make a change up. We need to reevaluate our lives, do a little house cleaning, and it just so happened to be in the fall solstice. And what are you doing? You're going through things to try to make room for your pumpkin, your Christmas tree, and all that. But with all that said, when we're looking at the tangible and we're looking at our own value with inside of us. Hi, Cece, how are you? And what you're feeling inside, it's time for a stripping away. It's like having that pot that you use all the time. It's your favorite pot, and then you turn it over and it's dark. And so it's time to clean that up and to shine it. And some things you need to just go in and get rid of it. And I think we need to really just sit down and say, how do I want to go into the new world? And so I did an episode of forgiveness because I'm on my own journey of forgiving. And I can actually tell you guys that it's not easy. It's not easy coming to this place of saying, I forgive you. I forgive you for the disrespect. I forgive you for the harm that you caused me on my soul. I forgive you. And it's not just the forgiveness, because some people can hurt you so deep that it changes the tapestry of your whole life. Can you forgive that? Can you forgive the rebuilding? Because some hurts can actually change your life. Some hurts will cause you to rebuild your life. You know, that's talking about relationships, deep marriages. You know, you leave a marriage, you get divorced, you got to separate things, you got to get a new house, you got to do that. You know, this is what forgiveness is all about. Forgiveness is identifying the point of injury, and we talk about this a lot. We talk about this all the time, is identifying the point of injury that caused you to feel a certain way that lingers into your life every time you get triggered. You realize, oh, I haven't dealt with that. Every time you are faced with a trigger, you are seeing that you haven't dealt with something. That's why you get in, you know, I was talking to a client today, and the one thing I had said to the client, how do you know that you're being triggered? It's almost like, you know, when you were a kid, you know, you're in the back seat and your parents go down this slope and then you feel it in your gut. That's what that is. But it's not like a roller coaster ride, it's a anger ride. And then you fall into that anger, you fall into that insult, and then you fall in, and then you spend a lifetime. You spend a lifetime licking the wound, licking the wound. And the more you lick the wound, it doesn't have a chance to heal because you're not really dealing with it. You're just licking the wound. So when you are faced with forgiveness, the hardest part of being faced with forgiveness, the hardest part is when you think you forgave the person and you had to see them face to face. And when you see that person face to face, what starts happening is the triggering starts happening. Now, sometimes if you really, really, really been focused on that, and you've really been taking the time on that, and you really been like, really like in your soul with that, you're going to feel a different way than if you didn't totally heal it. Now, when you're totally healed, you know, it's almost like when you're totally healing, you release that energy of insult back to the perpetrator, back to the person that, you know, I release it. And actually, you're actually thanking that person that came into your life that hurt you that way. You're actually thanking them because they helped you grow. Now, I know that's a paradox because you're actually thanking the person that hurt you in the time of healing. You're thankful that they showed you. And not only did you learn something about yourself, you learned something about that person. And what did you learn about that person? Rejection is protection. Whenever you're removed out of a situation, that is to protect you, to give you time to interject and look inside so you can see the whole scope of the situation rather than being triggered to be reactive. And that's what triggering does. Because when you're not healed, you begin to react in a trigger. And anything that anyone says to you will upset you, will annoy you. You will literally lack understanding. And I'm sorry, you guys, I live on a very busy street, and is like, especially around 7, my street starts waking up, because I live near a lot of, like, this is the quiet end actually, and then if I go further down, that's where all the eateries are and the bars are, and da 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 da. Da, you know, because I'm closest to downtown. So it's kind of crazy, because so you don't hear cars back and forth. But never mind, I digress. I just wanted you guys to understand why you're hearing the noise in the background. So, how do we come to the place? Because I know we all have been hurt in relationships. We've been hurt in our friendships. We've been hurt in our close relationships. And this is a time that we're closing chapters to things that have caused us so much pain, things that we have not been able to, how can I say it, let go. So think about this as a beautiful time, because as we enter in 10, which in 2026 we're going into the 10, okay? And what's so beautiful about that? This is what's so beautiful about that. Is because 10 represents new beginnings. This is time letting go, learning to love yourself in order for the person that hurt you to receive your forgiveness, because the forgiveness is not for them, the forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness is the thing that helps you grow. And that's what sometimes is really hard, because it really, like, why do I have to be the one? Why do I have to be the one? Why do I have to? Nobody wants to take personal responsibility for how they feel. We always want to put how we feel on another person. That's where unforgiveness comes from. That's where injury of the soul comes from. Because just because it happens to us, and we may not be the person that has caused it, we do have a responsibility of what we do with those emotions when they're brought to us. So, I want to thank you guys for tapping in. I want to thank you for showing up. I know it's been a while since I've been on. It's been really hard because this energy is kicking my butt. And there's a lot of things that I'm doing behind the scenes. I've been very extremely busy, you guys. So I do apologize. I do apologize. But the thing that I wanted to say is, look at my merch. My merch is in the top in my bio. So it's hair care products, that my favorite hair care products that I like. It is a link to my extensions, and is I'm an Amazon affiliate, an Amazon influencer. So you can go up there and you can get all the little goodies that I have in there. And then also like and follow me. And if you think this will help someone, or you think my channel will help someone, please let them know that I'm here. So now that we got that all out of the way, why, when we have unforgiveness in our bodies hurt? And our bodies will continue to hurt until we learn to let it go. Because when we have these feelings inside of us, they literally get trapped in our bodies, and they're trying to be seen. And the reason they need to be seen, the major reason they need to be seen, they need to be seen so you can see them, and so you can begin to address those very things. And a lot of times, it will take time. It will take patience, because sometimes it took me a long time. It took me, and I'm just being straight up, it took me a long time, especially when it came to my ex-husband. I held that for a long time. I held that for a long time. So don't think like you're the only one that's hanging on to stuff. We all have our experience with unforgiveness. And all of us deal with unforgiveness very different from each other. We're all like involved in that circle of unforgiveness. Just like if you love somebody, it's like when you love somebody, everybody's involved with that love. Everybody that is around you, everybody that is in your auric field, they are being affected by your love. And so is unforgiveness. Everybody that is around you will be involved. Because you know why they will be involved? Because they got to hear your story of why you don't forgive this person. They got to hear this story over and over again why you hurt them or why they're hurt, right? So you have to understand, if you do not forgive and you hold this, you're making everybody in your life pretty miserable and don't even realize it. And the only reason you don't realize it because those people love you and they allow you to have your story, because you need to perpetually say the story. And the more you talk about that story, the more you lie in the unforgiveness, the more comfortable you get with not forgiving. So, man, it can be hard. It can be hard. And that's why I needed to get you guys to really see that there is, first we talked about how are you feeling. And the reason I wanted the first part to be about feeling, because in order to identify, are you holding unforgiveness in your chakras? Are you holding unforgiveness in your soul? Are you holding unforgiveness? That's the only way you're going to know, is that you have to be in your body. You have to be present in your body to know what the body is doing. And your body will tell you where you're at when you're looking at forgiving, when you're looking at how you feel about certain things. And a lot of times, if you hold that in your body for a very long time, you actually create a story behind the story. And so what happens is you begin to stack the story of unforgiveness in your life, to finally you have this novel of unforgiveness. And even when you go to address it with the person that hurt you, they don't even remember. Because like I said, forgiveness is not about them. Forgiveness is for you. So we did the stages of how am I feeling. That's so you can tap into your feelings. And whenever you get triggered, you can analyze why you're being triggered. And a lot of times when you analyze why you're being triggered and you begin to understand why you were feeling a certain way, it's because you got triggered, because you have some unhealed trauma in your body. And when you get triggered, it comes to the surface. So that's why I wanted us to spend some time on, and I think I spoke about being in your body a good 6 months. We talked about that a good 6 months. And if you look at my feed, We talked, especially in my shorts. I talked a lot about it in my shorts. In the shorts, I talked about how what feeling in your body represents. And so be representative of what you're feeling in your body, because now you can scan your body, understand your body, give grace to your body, which reflectively affects how you feel about that situation, that person, that thing. And so, in the stages of forgiveness, it's pretty much the same thing you will do when you're sitting in your body and you're literally analyzing and scanning your body from head to toe. And you can notice, and one thing that I noticed is like our body is a great indicator of what is lying dormant in our soul. Our body, I'm going to say that again, our body is a great indicator of what's lying dormant in our soul. And it could be beautiful things, but it also can be unforgiveness. So the more you tap into your body and the emotions in your body, and understand that weird things will trigger you, things that are unrelated to the crime, to the crime scene, right? And that is the contempt that you're feeling about what just happened to you or how people made you feel, right? You get what I'm saying? So think about it this way. Think about it in a way of okay, I'm feeling some kind of way, and why am I feeling this way? And it'll be different feelings. Like, I got triggered this morning. Didn't really even know why I got triggered, but I was actually taking a walk, and I felt triggered, and and what came up for me was anger. So what I did is I really sat in the anger, not to just be angry, but to understand why I was angry. And then sometimes when you're doing that scan, you realize that it's even not you. It could be that you came across somebody that was angry, or you went in the store and the vibration in the store was a low vibration, because like everything that we are barking into, you guys, hear me right now. Everything that we're barking into in this new season is all about frequency. And I really want you guys, as we go into this series, to really understand you want to be in your body, you want to heal the unforgiveness, because those two things will affect your frequency, and your frequency will affect your manifestation. Your frequency will affect how you love, how you are as friends. Frequency is going to be the currency. It's not going to, frequency is going to be the currency, you guys. Understand this. So if you go in a room, and while you're in that room, you feel some kind of way. When you're feeling some kind of way, the reason you're feeling some kind of way, because you're feeling the frequency in the room. And a lot of us haven't heard or talked a lot about frequency. Frequency is powerful. And I think I said in one of my posts a few weeks ago that we're as we speak, we're in frequency wars. The media has us in frequency wars. The music have us in frequency wars. We are definitely in frequency wars. So we have to understand that we got so many things coming at us that actually is a barometer to how we feel sometimes. And it's crazy because sometimes unconsciously your your frequency is being invaded by something that is not of you. So that's why it's so good to check how you're feeling, to make sure you're forgiving, so you can understand the frequency that is around you, because not all frequency that is around you is good for you. Like, think about, okay, let me give you a illustration. So when you see an emergency car, like an ambulance and everything, and they come by you and the sirens are going, and if you notice when you do that, you have to hold your ears because that frequency is so abrupt, it actually agitates you, okay? That's what frequency has to do. That's what frequency is all about. Frequency is about adjusting yourself and understanding, is this my frequency or is this the frequency that's just filtering through my life during the day? That's why you want to be in your feelings, totally on your journey of forgiveness. So when we go into these frequency wars, you won't wig out because we're in them already. That's why you feel in some kind of way, and that's why everything in the tapestry of your life, like time is moving really fast and then it moves really slow. Like the things that you need to get done and you need to get done ASAP seem to take forever to get done, and then the things that you that you want to take your time with, you find yourself, they just dragging and dragging and dragging because you can't get it right. So if you think about it, everything is going to affect how your frequency adjusts to these high level of frequencies. Like our resonancy is very high right now because we have this object that came in from our solar system, not from our particular solar system, from another solar system into our auric field. And so now it's in our auric field, and it will affect how we feel frequency. And so I just really wanted to come on and like really talk about this subject. We will be talking more about um, um, how forgiveness is connected to your frequency. Unforgiveness is connected to your frequency. And I really want you to identify that they're all connected. No matter what vibration you're on, you're carrying a frequency with everything you do. Your feelings matter. How you feel matters. How you bring yourself into the world matters. Because if you come with a lower frequency, you're going to get back a lower frequency. If you come with a high frequency, you're going to get back a high frequency. So everything is apple to oranges, apples to oranges. That's why I feel, I said, it's very imperative that you heal your body, that you scan how you feel, that you know how you feel. And as you know how you feel, it will all manifest itself in a lower or a high frequency. But guess what? You don't have to walk around randomly going like, okay, things are just happening to me. No, things are not just happening to you. It's your frequency that will draw the things that you will manifest. So think about your frequency as a magnet. Whatever is in your frequency, you will draw. And that's why it's so important. This is why I wanted to talk about this subject, because it's very important what your frequency volume is. And you want to have it at 425, 450, around there, because that is going to be, if you're trying to heal your body, you want to be at a 5 frequency. You need to realize and understand, and I would say go on YouTube, you can Google it, what the power of frequency is. So understand that everything that's changing right now is going to be about what your frequency. So this is why, like, certain people, you'll find that certain people in your life, you'll be in a friendship and then the friendship just cut off. That's because the residency of the frequency is not matching you, and so you don't want it's not, and don't take it personal. Don't take it personal at all, because we're all on different frequencies, we're all on different timelines, and we all. Oh, I'm gonna do a little break. My hair is Hey Gorgeous You. This is my product, Luxury Hair. If you're interested, reach out to me in the bio. Um, I have wavy, and the reason I use wavy because it has a small wave, and I like to wear my hair spiral. And when I spiral it, it actually stays. And my hair is actually this color, but I like to color it. Everybody knows my brand. I think I've been like this for like ever. I always have a little blonde on one side. I don't know, is it that I tried to do all blonde, but oh my God, it's too much work. So as I'm saying this, just remember to keep, whenever you're feeling some way and it's anger, it's a low vibration. If it's love, encouragement, giving, now you're on a high vibration. So make sure that you have that in tune. Even when you wake up, I do a mantra in the morning. I do a mantra, and I'm not a very morning person, because a lot of my work I do at night. I'm not a morning person, but I do understand, like in the morning, I move very slow. And the reason I move very slow, because my frequency is really not good. So I have to work on it. I have to work on it in the morning. I have to work on my frequency in the morning because of the fact I'm just not a morning person. But when you start seeing the power of frequency, not only are you going to change your life, you're going to change your body. You're going to change how you feel in your body. There's so many things that will change if you understand your frequency. It's either high or it's low. And that choice is yours. So like and follow. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing out. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye now.